Welcome back to our log home. You guys caught me. I am doing some sprouting today. I love sprouting probably more than anything because you get so much nutritional value from these young seeds, and it only takes anywhere from like 3 to 5 days. Sprouting is so simple. All you're gonna need is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 quart-sized mason jars, and you're gonna need some sprouting seeds, and you can use most any seeds. Some seeds are easier to sprout than others, and a few that I really like that I use all the time here on our homestead are mung beans, organic mung beans. I love broccoli sprouts or broccoli seeds because they are so nutritional. They have something called sulforaphane that is amazing, that helps. There's a lot of studies on anti-cancer benefits and just a lot of wonderful healing with them. And I do mustard greens, and there's a zesting sprouting mix that I love that has fenugreek and clover and radishes in it. It has a little bit of bite. I really like those too. Sprouts are amazing because if they're young and they have anywhere between 10 to 100 times the nutritional value of the actual mature plant. So let's talk about the broccoli sprouts. So a broccoli sprout could have almost 100 times the nutritional value as the actually mature head of broccoli. And so depending on what the sprout is, like I said, anywhere between 10, 20, 50 times the amount. I mean, it's a great way. You could add it to your sandwiches, you could add it to your salads, you could put it in your smoothies. So it's a great way to get a lot of bang for your buck. And especially in the middle of wintertime when you don't have access to growing these wonderful greens, you can sprout, and anybody can sprout. And sprouting is another great way. Let's say you're living in an apartment or a condo and you don't have access to growing vegetables. This is another great way that you could get some wonderful fresh greens into your diet. I'm in the final process of my sprouting. It's been about 4 days for my broccoli sprouts. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the salad spinner, rinse them off a little bit, put them in the salad spinner so I can get rid of those little tiny hulls. So as you can see, I got quite a few of the hulls out and a lot of water. And then I'm going to go ahead and put them on a nice flour sack towel. And you want to have them dry. So I'm gonna probably let these dry a few hours. You do not want to put them in the refrigerator when they're wet because then they'll go bad. So just make sure that they are dry before you put them in the refrigerator. Now I'm going to be moving on to the mung beans, and I really love mung beans. They're great. They're loaded in fiber. It's a legume, and it is has a lot of vitamin C, and I love them in my stir fries because they hold up really well when you cook with them. So they're good for cooking, and then I love to eat them raw. They have kind of a nutty flavor. They're great just to eat by themselves or putting them in a sandwich or my salads. So it's a good addition. So I like to have a mix because they all have a little different taste. So right now, as you can see, these mung beans I have been sitting all day. I rinsed them in the morning, and they have been sitting in some indirect sunlight to kind of produce the chlorophyll. And you don't want to put them in direct sunlight. You want just indirect sun, and they don't really need a lot. Just a few hours and to green up and get that chlorophyll from them to make them a little bit more vibrant. I got this lid from Mason Tops, and I want you guys to check out something. Notice how it has a stand? After I rinse it, and it's great, the water just goes right in there, I fill it up and I rinse it, I flip it upside down, and it has its own little stand. Generally, you have to tilt them on their side after you rinse them for the water to drain out. It has its own stand that the water can really drain out of it. And then, look at this totally unique feature that it has. Look at that. It allows the airflow to go inside of your sprouts, because that's the problem with sprouts. They get moldy and go bad when you don't have that airflow and you get too much moisture. So this way, I can drain them. It drains really good. I let it set. I put it in the sink for just a few minutes. All the water comes out. Then I kind of shake them out. I put them on its side. Then you have that wonderful airflow going with that feature that it has. And my sprouts are great. They've never been better because sometimes they don't always work, and I do really well now since I've been using the Mason Tops. Next, I'm going to rinse and dehull my mung beans. Oh, they're beautiful. Look at them. Oh, they're so pretty. will you guys use a salad spinner? That is a wonderful, wonderful invention that they made. And if you got kids, they love to do it. Now I'm going to put these guys on the other side next to my broccoli sprouts and let them dry throughout the afternoon. And then once they're dried, and I might blot them a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the refrigerator. And here on the Off-Grid Homestead, I will put it probably in our cooler. In order for me to get to this point, I use 2 quart-sized jars, and then I use 2 tablespoons of my seed. So I had broccoli seeds and I also had mung beans. I soak them in good clean water. You can use distilled water, purified water, just as long as it's not chlorinated water, and I let it soak overnight, anywhere like 8 to 12 hours, and in the morning I rinse them really good, and then I'm gonna flip them upside down so all the water drains. I'm gonna rinse my seeds twice a day. So I usually do it early in the morning and then late right before I go to bed. You don't wanna rinse them when they're really, really wet. So I usually wait like first thing in the morning and then right before I go to bed. Watch your seeds grow. It'll take, 3, 4, 5 days, and then you're gonna have these beautiful, luscious, healthful sprouts that are full of life, full of energy, full of vitality that all of you guys should be adding to your diet. And here's something that's totally awesome. I mean, if you're afraid to start gardening or you don't have the space, I mean, this is something that anybody can do. It's sort of like the gateway to get you started into gardening because it's so simple and easy to do. It's a great experiment if you have young children for them to do because they can see something grow so quickly because children have such short attention spans. You could go ahead and just put your sprouts in, and every day you have a glass jar, you can watch and see how the seeds grow. I mean, it's just amazing and it tastes good. So if you guys want to get anywhere from 10 to 100 times nutritional value from these little bitty sprouts as opposed to the mature plant, try sprouting. It's great. Love you guys stopping by, and I will see you guys later. What do I?